Got locked in now, laser focus.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Locked In. My name is Megan Holden.
And I'm Sam Rodriguez.
And here we cover the latest and hottest debates and news for the NFL, NBA, and the Creighton Young Minds Undiscovered League. For those who don't know, the Creighton Young Minds Undiscovered League is the first replica of European basketball in training in the USA. They take players from all different levels and compete at the highest level in Texas. Now, our topics for the day, talking about Texas, we are talking about J.J. Watt. He got released, got what he wanted. So where is he going? What's next for him? We're also going to be debating the All-Star voting. I am so tired of this. I'm disappointed every year. So me and Sam picked our own All-Star votes, and we compare it and justify our picks versus the other picks. And lastly, we're also going to be debating Creighton Young Minds Undiscovered League player, who's the most undiscovered player, like the most underrated. So let's start off with that. So Creighton Young Minds Undiscovered League player, most undiscovered player. Who do you have, Sam?
All right, so this is tough because we have guys like Jarrett Henderson, you have Mike Lenore. There's some good players in this league, but my undiscovered player in this league I think is overshadowed is Balza Bozovic. I feel like he's a great player in them. He plays on two teams. He plays on the undiscovered team, and he also plays on Creighton Young Minds team. So he's been playing back and forth. He plays well back-to-back games too. Like last week, he had 10 points, 17 rebounds. He's a stretch forward. He's 6'7", so really getting 17 rebounds is ridiculous, especially against a team they played the pros. So he plays his position well, and he knows what to do and when to do it. He is a crafty player. People, I feel like, underestimate him over there. And I feel like he looks like he's going to be going places if people give him the chance to look at him.
So he was actually seen by scouts, and they raved about him. TBL, he also plays with TBL. We actually had him on a show. He's what's a modern big is now in the NBA, right? He's a stretch four, a guy who can grab boards and also space the floor for you. Very key in today's NBA. And yeah, him and Jarrett Henderson is a dynamic duo over there on Discovery League. They the way they grab boards, they can shoot. They really can do it all. And he's actually been improving on defense too. So my player, actually, I've been debating between two here, so I might give him a little bit both sides. First player on the prospects, point guard, Abraham Davalos. Sorry if I pronounce it right. Davalos. Sorry. Abraham Davalos. I know you appreciate this guy showing out for the small guys out there. Yep. Plays with heart every single game. Can score from inside and out. I don't know sometimes how he does it. He goes against bigs and he's still be able to get to the rim and make the basket, kind of like Isaiah Thomas. And again, he can space the floor. He plays with a lot of heart. He dives for balls. And on defense, I get he's a smaller guy, but he still goes after the ball. He's pretty good at jumping lanes and getting steals as well. Another player I like who just does all the right things from Louis is Jesse Williams. Great mid-range game. Some of the mid-range shots, reminds me a lot of some NBA players. It's just great. He just always does the right things, always in the right place. Doesn't really make mistakes. And I feel like you really need those, appreciate those type of players, high IQ. You need those players to win. Him and Marcus Book is also a great dynamic duo over there. Now, and you guys usually can catch Creighton Young Minds Undiscovered League on the weekends. We usually post share the links. And this week, they're not on this week, but they'll probably be on next week, and we'll post a link about it. But it's usually on Saturdays, starting around 12 p.m. Central Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes.
So going to that, to talk about Texas, go big or go home, I want to know, for our NFL debate of today, J.J. Watt has recently been released by the Texans. Due to him asking to be released after 9 years with the franchise, was the face of the franchise for a little bit. I want to know, where do you see J.J. Watt playing for this upcoming season?
So there's a lot of names being thrown around, but I feel like it's going to come down to who has the cap space right now, because I feel like he will want that decent sized contract unless he decides to go for, oh, I'm gonna take a kind of like back day and go to the Bucks or something to win a ring.
The Bucks have cap space though.
Yeah, but I don't see that happening. I don't think he's that kind of player. I think he'll go somewhere where he knows they have potential to win it, not somewhere like the Chiefs, the Bucks. I could honestly see him going to the Browns. All right? Listen. Imagine a front of him, Myles Garrett. That'd be ridiculous. They tried getting Jadeveon Clowney. They tried getting Everson Griffin, and they couldn't do it. So I feel like J.J. Watt might want to go there, especially after the run they had this season. Plus, he'd be playing against his brothers 2 times throughout the year. And I know he won't go to the Steelers because they'll have to – him, TJ, and the other one will be switching back. They really won't be – it won't be a good thing. They'll all be switching times. So I can see the Browns being a good fit. That defense would be ridiculous. Myles Garrett, Sheldon Richardson, J.J. Watt, come on. That'd be kind of scary front. I don't think any team would want to see that. And I think that would add the extra jump to their defense to make them like a top-tier defense.
They did struggle the second half of the season. And I think Browns are already one of the names that are interested in him that's been reported. And I would say I agree with you, the Steelers part. A lot of people bring up the Steelers because his brothers is there, but you're talking about, one, they don't really have much cap space. Even though they are expressed interest, they don't have that much cap space to spend, especially when they already have defensive line. I mean, they have great defensive line and defensive line depth, which we saw this season with all the injuries, how guys stepped up. So there's not really a need there. It'll be more just connecting with his brothers.
Yeah.
And on top of it, so he would take a big pay cut, and you're talking about playing in rotation. And the Steelers, they're not even a for sure type of team that can go for championship. And I know he wants to play for a playoff contender, and you say you don't think he's going to go to a team where it's more of a sure thing. He wants to go to a team that's more competitive, right? So 2 teams I'm looking at. I don't agree with that part. I think the 2 teams I'm looking at is has to be playoff teams with cap space. I'm looking at Baltimore Ravens, and I'm looking at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I want to throw my Patriots in there, but I'm not going to.
That's kind of gross.
Look, him and Bill Belichick would be great. It would kind of be like a Harrison thing when he brings them in. But the thing is, we don't have the offense. Our future's not clear right now. So I'm not sure if Watt takes the risk. Even though I would love to get him that $10 million contract that we 1 year $10 million contract we gave to Andre Carter a decade ago. But back to the topic, I would have him Bucks or Ravens. The Bucks, because obviously they just won Super Bowl. They should be Super Bowl favorites again, given they lost the talent of roster and guys want to come back. And that front 7 is scary and it's lethal. Adding J.J. Watt there, and probably they have the cap space to sign him. That's a for sure. I feel like for sure you're going to Super Bowl, you're going to the NFC Championship game, and I think that's what he wants. He's tired of wasting his time. He's never been that far with the Texans in the playoffs. The other side, if he doesn't want to jump on a bandwagon, I can see him going to the Ravens, where it has that grit. They're known for the defense. They're known for being a defensive team throughout the last 2 decades. The grit. I think guys usually like that, especially defensive players. You're talking about a guy that's, I believe, three-time defensive player of the year, award-winning defensive player of the year. So I can see him fitting well over there, and especially once I feel like they lost Earl Thomas was the right move. Like they released him. But I feel like they did lose that kind of gritty edge defensively, especially beginning half of the season. They kind of came back second half of the season and started getting it together, but they did have defensive line issues, especially with injuries. So I think having J.J. Watt there would solidify that. Any rebuttal to my Ravens pick?
I'm telling you right now, that's not going to happen.
You think he'll go to the Browns, a Pittsburgh Steeler?
Over the Ravens, yes.
The Steelers hate Browns with a passion. Like that's a
okay,
big
but that doesn't matter. He's not gonna go to the Steelers. That's end of conversation right there. I don't see that happening. I don't think he cares if the Steelers are gonna get mad or not. You know what I mean?
No, but that's his brother's. That's his brother's team.
Yeah, but who cares? It's the NFL.
His parents probably care.
Who cares? He's making the money. They can back off. And the Ravens, they really don't have an offense. Lamar's proven he's kind of choking it out over there. They don't have really many receivers. Hollywood Brown's not really Hollywood, so you got to think about that. There's so many other competitive teams over there.
Okay, but you tell me you trust Cleveland more to make the playoffs than Ravens.
After last season, yeah. If the Browns come out like they did last season, yeah, they're gonna make the playoffs before the Ravens do.
But can they? They haven't. They weren't playing all season like that. The Ravens, we saw when they're starting to get together defensively, and they kind of came back into it. Offensive wise, they have the cap space. I can see them going. The biggest problem is getting number 1 wide receiver. If they get that, I feel like the offense is right back to what it was the season before.
I don't know about that. Lamar's not looking good. I've told you he needs to learn how to throw the ball. He can't throw the
Lamar
ball.
is fine. He
No,
is
he's
a
not.
good guy. Look at his
No, he's
accuracy. Look at his numbers. His completion
Yeah, look at his
percentage.
stats. Look at the team stats.
Yeah, completion percentage. They had
Look at the
besides
team
Hollywood
stats.
Brown. Hollywood Brown is a poor man's Deshaun Jackson. He's inconsistent.
No.
All right, he's inconsistent. He really had no one out there besides Mark Andrews, who was banged up.
No. Lamar needs to learn how to throw the ball.
He knows how to throw. I think he knows how to throw fine. I think people are just because he knows how to run. He's a very good playmaker. People underestimate his arm. But we'll go off that to something else I'm more passionate about and more furious about. Not that. It is this. NBA All-Star voting. I am sick of this. Every year. I don't know why. I think things are going to change. And then they prove everybody else right that you can't take the All-Star voting seriously. It's a popularity contest. Klay Thompson made top 10. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this because this is what infuriates me. I want to see if we should share it this way because
yeah, your messages are still showing. So
yeah, no, that's not gonna. That's the picks.
Right.
That's our picks because we're gonna show our picks too. But you can't see that.
No, that's good. You can put it back up right there.
Okay,
that's good.
Okay, if you guys want to zoom in, I'll tell you. LeBron James, number 1. Okay, get that. Joker number 2. Kawhi Leonard. Okay, starters, Western, fair. I like it. This is where I have the problem. Christian Wood should be higher in this list. I get he's been banged up, but the way he's been playing, he's been a top big man going to a new team, and now he's getting more time, getting more shine. He's been a top big man in this league, especially how he stepped up during that Harden fiasco. Right, he was playing his heart out for the team. Colin Anthony, I get he's playing great. I get he's with Portland and he's great, but I'm not sure if he's an all-star. I think it's just because his name. Let's go to the guards where it pisses me off more. Okay, like I said, Klay Thompson hasn't played this season. Why does he have 225,000 votes? How come DeAndre Fox is not on this list, who's been balling out?
De'Aaron Fox?
Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, I said it wrong, right?
You said DeAndre Fox.
My bad. Yes, DeAndre, you know I got his speech. But anyways, I'm going to say Fox. Let's say Fox then. Fox has been balling out with Sacramento Kings. Making an impact there. I don't understand why he's not on this list, but a guy who hasn't played at all this season is. This is why you can't take the voting seriously for fans. And why there's also an issue with teams that have bigger markets. Now let's go to the East. Okay? Jaylen Brown has been a better player than Jason Tatum this season. He's been more consistent. Jason Tatum has a higher ceiling, but Jaylen Brown has been the best Celtic. I don't understand how he doesn't have more votes. And also, he's been better all around than those top threes. Guys in front of him. I know Beal has the most points per game.
No.
Yes.
Jaylen Brown's been great, but he's not over James Harden, Kyrie, and Bradley Beal right now.
Then
you're stretching that right now as a Celtics fan. Come on now.
You want me to show you who's your picks? Because I'm pretty sure you had Jaylen Brown. You had Jaylen Brown.
I had Jaylen Brown because I'm not a James Harden fan, but I can understand why people are voting for James Harden over Jaylen Brown.
Okay, so you think Kyrie Irving, who's in and out this whole season, doesn't play defense, is better than how Jaylen Brown's been playing? Who's a top 10? Who's top 15?
You got to think voting goes by who is the popular person, and Kyrie's been playing great when he plays. Am I wrong?
And Jaylen Brown's not. Jaylen Brown's
but Jaylen Brown's a smaller name. He's a smaller name.
That's the problem. That's the problem, though. We're talking about All-Star. Who's been the best player? Who's been a better player this season? Jaylen Brown or Kyrie Irving?
Team, the record, your records as well.
Okay, but how much of that much difference in record? Celtics and Nets.
It's Kyrie versus Jaylen Brown. No matter what, any day, Kyrie will have more votes, even if he's playing less.
I'm not talking about vote. I'm talking about who should be there. Who is the better player?
Going to be there still.
Okay, but who should be starting? Who's the better player?
Kyrie.
That's my question. Right now, Kyrie's the better player.
Yes, right now, Kyrie is the better player.
Jaylen Brown has a better defensive rating. He's been playing better defensively. He actually goes against top guys, and he actually has better scoring right now. He's top 50. He's number 12 in scoring. And also, you look at field goal percentage.
Who are you taking? Clutch game. Who are you taking? Brown or Kyrie?
But it's not about clutch game. You're saying
but I'm telling you, overall, Kyrie is better than Jaylen Brown right now. Not defensively, but offensively, you'll take Kyrie any day.
It's the whole game. NBA star. Jaylen Brown has turned to a top 15 player right now in the NBA. He's
yes, but Kyrie's a top 10.
He's not playing like it right now. We're talking about who's been playing like not this right now.
Yes,
he's not top 10 in the NBA right now, stats wise.
He's playing like a top 10 player.
He's took a backseat, and he's also not committed. You're talking about guys. I'd take a guy who's been playing his heart out than a guy who's just been in and out, and then comes when his teams are winning, and then only pursues on one side of the ball. If you're gonna talk about just shooting, then let's not forget the all-star game. Let's play a game on horse, because that's what that is.
No, you have to put Kyrie over him. I'm sorry, you have to. And your James Harden point. James Harden's ranked 6 in the top 10 right now.
Yes, but defensively he's the third worst.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. He's one of the best players in the league right now, no matter defense or not.
The defense is a part of the game. It's a whole half of the game.
If he is a top player in the league right now without defense, that's fine. He's doing what he needs to do.
Offensively, there's 2 parts of the game. If Jaylen Brown's top 15 on both sides of the ball, would you rather take a guy who's top 5 and top 10 in offense and who's one of the worst in defense position defensively, or would you rather take a guy that's top 15 on offensive defense in the NBA right now, whose team is also winning?
I'd rather have a James Harden over Jaylen Brown right now.
But how come you didn't start him in your picks? We're going to show you this
because
right
I feel like Jaylen Brown earns it more. But I'm saying overall, James Harden, you take him over Jaylen Brown any day. I picked Jaylen Brown because I think he deserves it more.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. For who this year?
Okay, but I'm saying it doesn't matter. I'm saying James Harden, you take every day over him, real game. I picked Jaylen Brown because I feel like he deserved to get his first All-Star.
Okay, wait, I got to get rid of this.
Yeah, your texts are up. Your texts are up.
There you go.
You got to get rid of your text.
I can't. That's part of the picture.
Okay.
There we go. If I do this, maybe.
Watch.
Does that help?
Hold up.
Technical difficulties.
You see
I'm just saying. Is that better?
Yeah, look what I posted. You see
okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 sides of the ball. This is yours. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, there's 2 sides of the ball. This is my point. Who's been playing? You're saying right now Jaylen Brown deserves it over James Harden. But I want to know, because you have Kyrie over James Harden. So why does Kyrie deserve it over James Harden if James Harden's a better offensive player?
Kyrie's a better player. I think he's a better point guard. I'm thinking about how they'd mesh. I don't want 2 shoot guards at the guard. I put Kyrie to be in the point. Jaylen Brown being the shoot guard. You don't want to put 2 shoot guards running that point.
I hope they're not in the same team because they did not get along on the Celtics. So,
yeah, that'd be fine.
Well, back to this. So now you have, interestingly, you're talking about names and popularity, and you talk about offense and all this. Where's Kevin Durant?
Not there.
Why
He's not going to be there. Because you have Embiid, one of the best defensive bigs in the league right now.
Defense
you're not listening. Yes, because the front court's lacking in it.
Okay.
I set my All-Star picks up the way it is. The front court, Kyrie's not a defensive player. So you have Jaylen Brown there to help out. Defense, you have second court, you have Embiid, one of the best bigs in the league. Giannis, I'm not a fan of him, but he does play pretty well. And he is a long guy, so he is a pretty good defensive player. And then Tatum there for the offense. Tatum I'd rather have over Kevin Durant right now because I feel Tatum deserves that more. Kevin Durant came back amazing, but I feel like I'd rather have Tatum there.
All right, I need you to explain a little bit more on that. But first, I want to know, are you just any guy who threatens LeBron for the top spot, are you just completely against him?
What are you talking about?
Because last year, Giannis for MVP, and now this year, Kevin Durant missed the All-Star.
No one's even getting close to LeBron. Last year, LeBron should have had that in the bag. The way LeBron's playing this year, at year 18, come on now. Kevin Durant could never.
I'm just not sure if you have a personal vendetta for anyone who challenges LeBron. Or anyone
LeBron's playing amazing this year. I'm not worried at all.
Okay. So, I want to know, Kevin Durant's a two-way player. He can play defense and offense too. Why do you have more? I want more. Why you have Giannis and Tatum over him?
Because Giannis is going to be there no matter what. It's going to be between Tatum and Kevin Durant. But I feel like Giannis will be there over Tatum any day. People love Giannis. I don't know why people love him that much, but they do.
No, but why are you picking Giannis over KD?
Because I'd rather have him there than Kevin Durant.
Tell me more why.
Because Giannis, his defensive player rating is better than Kevin Durant. He's won the past 2. He's won MVP. I'm still upset about that, but whatever. It's besides the point. Kevin Durant's coming off that injury. I just feel like Giannis is the better player for this fit right now. Kevin Durant will make the All-Star team no matter what. I just don't want him starting over Giannis.
Okay. I'll touch on that with my picks. How about Tatum? Why is Tatum getting over Durant?
Tatum deserves it right now. I feel like he's finally taking that step. Him and Brown are finally taking that step to be that 1-2 duo over there. And Tatum's been playing pretty well, even though he needs to work on that big game shot. I just feel like he deserves that slot right now more than Kevin Durant does.
Okay, so tell me why if Durant, if you had to tell him one thing, like what do you need to do to deserve this spot, what would you tell him?
Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have went to the Nets. Like
Yo, what? The Nets had no one. It was him and Kyrie. They got Harden now, but I mean, you mean he should have got to go to the State?
Harden coming over there diminishes his value, in my opinion.
I think it diminishes Harden's value and maybe Kyrie's value. I think Kevin Durant's still the best player on that team.
He is the best player on that team. But I'm saying the way I set it up, point guard, Kyrie's the best point guard in the East right now.
Okay. So you think it's more competitive between Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Tatum than it is between Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, and Bradley Beal and James Harden?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's look at your West. I am not mad at it, but I want to know. I'm interested. You got two kind of sleepers, almost sleepers, but others like that people don't usually put up there. You have going with Spider over what the common pick is with the Lillard or Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why.
The Jazz are number one in the West right now. They're playing phenomenally. The way they diminished the Bucks last night, I mean, you have to have him up there, either him or Mike Conley, and he's the better of them too. I think he deserves to be starting over there. The way he's playing this year is phenomenal, and they're a contender. They're not, oh, we're gonna play good for a couple weeks and then kind of back down. They're a contender right now.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue. Jazz is number one, right? Jazz is number one in the NBA. They also have he's a little bit better defender. He's an average defender, but he's a better defender than Curry, Dame, and Luka have been playing. Now, Davis, I want to know how much bias in Lakers. I left my Tatum guy out. I'm gonna give a little spoiler alert. Davis over Kawhi. Tell me why.
Yes. Oh yes, all day.
Like,
Anthony Davis has been playing great. You look at the stats. Kawhi, I'm pretty sure I dislike him more than I dislike Giannis. The way Kawhi plays, he's like a selfish player, I feel like. He needs to be his way or it's not going to be anything. We saw that when he got put over to the Clippers. He's really been a selfish person. I don't think he deserves it over AD because of the way they've been playing. AD's been playing phenomenally. They went to 3 overtime games back to back to back. Him and LeBron are the main two over there. He's still averaging like 25, 24. Kawhi is just, I don't know. I don't think Kawhi is a team player. He'll make the All-Star team, yes, but he should not be starting over Anthony Davis right now.
But for a team thing, it's more about individual. And I feel like individually, do you not feel like as a Lakers fan, Davis, especially given that they went to the NBA Finals, he has an injury history, came back. He seems like he's not impactful, but not as much of a every night, going off, like as dominant. That's the word. He's not as dominant every night as he was last season. You can tell maybe the NBA Finals and, obviously his injury history probably playing a factor in that. Whereas Kawhi has been showing out every time he's playing. He's been consistent, and he's the key factor to why the Clippers win games.
And Kawhi's been taking more rest, though, than Anthony Davis has.
Okay, but my point is...
And Anthony Davis is still doing this without that less rest. Kawhi needs to rest more often. Anthony Davis just goes.
But is Davis... I'm asking, has Davis been less dominating this year to you? Do you think he's kind of been diminishing or no?
No, he hasn't been diminishing. It's just LeBron's being LeBron. We didn't expect LeBron to be this great in year 18. He's been having 30-point games, 40-point games, 28-point games, averaging about 25, 9, and 9. No one really expected this going into 18th year. We thought he'd take a step back, kind of let AD pick up the role, but LeBron's playing great. No matter who's on a team with LeBron, they kind of look like they're diminishing. But Anthony Davis is not diminishing over there.
Okay. All right. I'll give you it. Now, mine picks. All right. I went with my shocker here is Ben Simmons. Because why defense matters to me, okay? All around games matter to me. And like you said with Spider, Sixers are the best in the East right now. And it has a lot to do with, I know Joel Embiid's MVP candidate, but also has a lot to do with Ben Simmons. To me, he's doing what he knows he does well. Defensively, he's one of the best defenders in the league, right? But also, and I feel like his defense doesn't always show in the numbers. You got to watch the games, team defense, get in front of guys, anticipation. He's up there. Also, offensively, I know he's not the shooter, but he knows he doesn't do that well. Like, he doesn't try to do stuff he doesn't know. He knows he doesn't do well, right? He doesn't force any shots. Instead, he got to make plays for other guys. And it's funny, too, because, you asked me a season or two ago, especially when he won that Rookie of the Year a couple seasons ago, I would have said Ben Simmons overrated, right? But now that I feel like because people are giving a lot of flack about him not having a shot a 3-pointer. I feel like people are overvaluing that way too much.
Hold up. Didn't you say Ben Simmons is overrated about a couple episodes ago?
Not a couple episodes ago, but I did say last year because people compared him to LeBron.
No. You said he has no offense whatsoever.
That was you. I said he has no. I said no. That was you. I said he has no scoring. He cannot score. He's a playmaker though. He doesn't have no shot. He doesn't have no shot. No playmaking is you can assist.
So why?
You can
so you're gonna take a guy that has only defense, no shot, no ability to get points for the other team.
He can get to the basket, and he can also create for others. Look at the guys you have there. I have Kevin Durant and I have Jaylen Brown. I'm not worried about shot. And also, it's not even how the teams are going to be. You got to remember, they have captains and they're going to pick teams. So this is not even how the teams are going to look. This is who's going to represent the East and the West, right? So this is not even how the team's going to look. But Ben Simmons, yes, because offensively, he does what he does well. He's averaging almost double. I think double-doubles, almost close to double-doubles every night. And Jaylen Brown, like I said, he's been playing like a top 15 player all the way around in the NBA. And both teams are winning, which is why I didn't put Beal there because Beal, yes, he's the most points per game in the NBA right now, but he's also taking one of the most attempts. He also is one of the worst defenders. Him, Harden, and Levine are worst defenders for their position in the NBA right now. The reason why the Wizards are losing is defense. Their defense sucks. Do you see the connection there? Also, Harden.
That's not why the Wizards are losing. The Wizards are losing because they have no talent whatsoever on that team besides Bradley Beal.
They have Westbrook and they have Burns is pretty good. They have good talent. They're not superstar talent, but the worst team in the East. Like not act like they don't have no one. Especially if you're talking about they have one guy who's supposed to be starting the All-Star. You can't really say they have no talent.
Yes, Bradley Beal is the main guy over there. They don't mesh together at all. No one over there meshes. They have no chemistry whatsoever on that team.
They have no. You can say they don't have chemistry, but Westbrook and talking about as far as having stretch fours, is a good fit, and Bradley Beal, someone who can space the floor, is a good fit. The thing is, and even when they had John Wall there, Beal has never been able to be that number one guy. You can't have a number one guy who's a one-way player, because especially if they suck at defense, because that's what's going to be leading your team. So the reason why they suck at defense is also connected to the fact that their best player is one of the worst defenders in the league. And they really have no grit. They only have no, fight to them, dog to them. Great scorer, but it's more to the game. So I have Jaylen Brown. I'd rather take a guy who's all-around player whose team's winning than Beal. And as far as Kyrie, I'd rather take a guy who's been playing his heart out every given night when not injured than Kyrie. Same thing with James Harden. So that's why Jaylen Brown. I wanted to put Tatum here. I wanted to, but I can't find a way to justify him over Giannis and Kevin Durant because they've been way more consistent. And I can't say, Giannis can't hit big shots at the end of games because Jason Tatum has missed shots towards the end of the games this season too. He's made them and missed them, so I can't say that. Joel Embiid, I think, is a clear center. I think that's clear. I think that's the only thing that's not argumentative right now in the All-Star voting. And the West, I'm going Lillard and Curry. I was tempted putting Spider there, and I think he should be right next up, right? Because the Jazz are the best team right now in the NBA by looks of it. But I think they're one of the best teams because they're great coach, well coached, and a great team. Kind of like what Toronto was before Kawhi came. Do you remember that? When they were a great team, they fit well together. That's why I see with the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell's Spider is great. I think he is going to be a superstar. I don't agree with Shaq there. But I don't think every single night he's been as consistent as Dame and Curry. Even though, and especially with him being an average defender, it's not big enough gap of defense to me put him over Dame, what they bring for Dame and Curry offensively. Then I have Joker and James. I agree with you. James MVP conversation with Joel. And then Kawhi Leonard over Davis because I feel like Kawhi Leonard's been more dominant this season when playing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think so.
But I want to know because when you say how do you feel about the regular All-Star vote, like based off the fans? Let me get this off of us. Stop sharing screen. Does none of this bother you?
Oh no, it bothers me. I'm not saying it doesn't. I love Caruso, but he shouldn't be up there. That's kind of like the fan thing. Caruso's my guy, but come on now.
You're Lakers fans.
And you always see someone get hurt for the season and they still vote for him. It happened with Kobe before. Remember that? He got voted in. Steph got voted in. That happens all the time. But it's like CJ McCollum deserves that spot over him. these people should not be getting picked when they can't even play in the game.
But this is why people don't hold All-Star too much value anymore, or popularity contests, because fans can't be trusted. This is why I'm thinking, and let me know if you agree with this. So the voting go to retired players, all of it, because I know it's break out in percentage right now. Like fans get 50%, media and players, but take the fans out of it. Whoa, I know you want to. This is a big thing.
Yeah.
Take the fans out of it, right, and give it to retired players and media. What do you think about that?
That's how it probably should be. If the media is voting on awards, MVP and such, they should also vote an All-Star game.
Yeah,
I feel like
more value. Good.
it should be mostly media and retired players, yes, because the fans are biased. Like I picked some Celtics players. I'm not a Celtics fan at all, but you got people that would put the whole Lakers starting lineup in one. Whoever made the Lakers was up there, and then the bottom like a whole Nets one, just because they're fans of them. You got to think realistically about it.
See, and I'm not saying retired players and media guys can't be biased, but they know the game more, I feel like.
And coaches should be allowed to. Because I feel like coaches, even if you're on their team, they know who's doing well. They know what's going on.
Yeah,
you can trust them more than you can trust fans.
I wouldn't mind the percentage. And people are talking about, marketing, that's going to make them, the NBA lose money. Okay, have the fans vote for the captain and have them select who's on which team.
Yeah, fans can just pick captains, though. Have the fans pick the captain. And that's about it.
Because I can't.
Or maybe they get fans get one special guy in or something. Like they agree on one guy to make the 10th slot on one of the teams. Like if Caruso gets 500,000 votes, he makes that 10th slot because the fans wanted it. Or somehow you get Jeremy Lin back up there, Taco Fall.
Zaza almost made it one time. Oh no, who made it one time? Kyle, number one, he was Atlanta, Kyle Korver, because Atlanta was doing really good. But also, I think they put the starters, and then the media and players get involved, and that's how you usually get the reserves. But like I said, I just feel like for starters, I want Brown. I feel like Brown definitely should be in there because he's been a top team player each way. Get him respect. I love Tatum, and I hate the Tatum versus Brown debate, but Brown has been the best Celtics player. For this team. But Tatum, I feel like, has a higher ceiling and, has bigger highlights, but Brown has been the most consistent player.
They just need to let them two be the stars and kind of let Kemba either get rid of him or tell him to step back.
Now let's talk. I don't think Kemba is the problem. I think Kemba obviously has been hurt, right? He has that knee problem. He hasn't looked nowhere close to where he's getting paid. Here's the main problem. What's the Celtics' identity? Can you tell me?
What?
What's the Celtics' identity?
What do you mean by that?
What are they, a gritty team? Are they a fight team? Are they
No, they're not at all.
Team? I don't know what their identity
is.
Let's
start it off hot and then kind of die down in the second half.
I don't know what the identity is. They're not. I know a couple seasons ago we had Isaiah Thomas. This was a fight and grind team, right? I feel like with all the stars and all the movement, they kind of lost identity. And I'm blaming a lot of this. I didn't see it before, right? I was actually against this, but here's my take. A lot of this is on Brad Stevens. I know people are like, oh, well, Danny Ainge hasn't gotten the sport. They got two stars over there. They got Kemba over there, right? They have other small pieces, but I feel like some reason Brad Stevens can get the talent of underdogs, right? Guys that overlook, but he can't get the talent of superstars. He can't get the most out of them. And this team kind of does, I'm going to say they don't have fight in them that much. They don't really have much to fight. They always play down to the competition. And come out in a half, they kind of fall off. They commit stupid fouls and turnovers. And this is coaching issues I'm looking at. Brad Stevens has not been right with lineups. He has not been right with timeouts since he came into the league. If he doesn't grow, how do you expect this team to?
I told you that from the start. Brad Stevens is a rebuild coach. He's not all right, we're rebuilt now. Let's kind of make a push. He was great for the process, yeah, but he's too much of their friend. You need someone that's been around the league, not someone newer. You need someone that's going to be like, all right, listen, shut up. This is what we're doing. He kind of lets him have too much say over there.
Yeah, it's a lot of iso ball, right? It's not too much team. It's I'm gonna put up the starts, and then when Brown gets hot, he'll play, but they don't go to Brown for a whole quarter. I feel like obviously you can't fire a coach this season, especially when I've been to the Eastern Conference Finals for multiple times, right? So I would say wait to show it out this season. But what you need to do, you need to bring a vet, like not KG level playing, but KG level attitude in there that would light a fire and call players out. Because right now they're walking all over Brad Stevens. This team can do whatever they want. They don't have much fight in them. They play down in the competition. I feel like he's just holding his team back. What was this comment there about Kemba?
Kemba needs to be benched till he's back to normal if that ever happens.
Well, yeah, he kind of got thrown back in, and he had that knee issue, and he's getting older. I think he kind of got thrown back in and expected to do a lot at once. I feel like they should have eased him in more, like they did to Hayward. Pritchard looks good, but I'm not sure if he's start worthy. So maybe you start smart. And people talk about that trade exception, start looking for another guy who can score. I know Danny Ainge said he wants either a big man to score or another wing that can score.
I'm telling you right now, they should get rid of Kemba. They really should. Because you have listen. You have Marcus Smart can start. He's the heart and soul of that team, Marcus Smart. You have Peyton Pritchard been playing amazing. Jeff Teague, I don't know what happened to him. He played great the first 2 games, then kind of went back to the Atlanta Hawks Jeff Teague. Minnesota Timberwolves Jeff Teague.
I jinxed him. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But you have that trade exception. Yes, you need someone to get rid of. I feel like get rid of Kemba, give it to Jaylen Brown and Tatum. Give them the keys. Let them run the franchise. Get a solid big in return, and then get some bench players because you need bench on that team. That's the Celtics' issue. They get gassed out. They run iso ball a lot. They get gassed out because they have a bench that they use 2 people off the whole game. They have so many people on that bench that are not NBA ready. They need to bring in some vets over there. I like that Harrison Barnes thing. I don't like that at all. They don't need another forward. They need a center, a rebounding center. They need someone over 6'9" over there because Taco Fall is never getting in the game.
There's so much I want to touch on that. Okay. First with the forward thing, we're actually thin at forward. If you talk about bench reliable guys, because we do have vets, it's just they're not playing what they used to play. They're not Thompson and Teague doesn't look like what they're supposed to be playing, how they're supposed to be playing. But you talk about forwards outside of Tatum and Brown, they don't really have no one reliable after. So if they can't, they always have to have one of them in the game, and that hurts them at the end of the game. Like you're saying, they look gassed. So I think you need a forward. As far as big man, what big man that's really available in trade that can bring offensive scoring but does not lack defense. Who's really out there that you can get? That's why I think you have to get a wing because there's more available.
No, but you have Andre Drummond's out there people looking to buy him out. That'd be a great help over there. Blake Griffin's even being bought out over there. They're selling over there. Blake Griffin could be a good fit over there. I feel like he could be that mentality, all right, let's do this now because he wants to win. And the Celtics putting him on that team, I think that would be a good fit.
If they're bought out, though, because on that contract they have right now, they're not worth that. And you really want to use your TPE for that, right? They're not worth that contract right now, Griffin or Andre Drummond. And if they get bought out, my biggest thing is the Celtics, and this is why I don't think we can trade to Kemba, is not really a desirable destination for a lot of NBA players because they want to go to LA's, nice weather in Hollywood or Miami, right?
Yeah, but it's not up to the player at this point.
When they bought out, no, if they're not bought out.
If Andre Drummond's not bought out, the trade could happen.
You're not paying that much for Andre Drummond.
They could.
You're paying tax. You're gonna be paying a tax for just having Andre Drummond on your team.
I'm saying they could. I'm saying he'd be a fit. Blake Griffin over there would be a fit. Their contracts aren't worth it. They could restructure, but they need something like that.
I'm gonna touch on the Kemba thing real quick. I don't think they trade him because you're never gonna sign a big free agent again if you trade Kemba. Okay, I mean all the teams. Danny Ainge kind of messed up how teams view them with when he traded Isaiah Thomas. A lot of teams, we heard what Anthony Davis, his father said, did him dirty. Hayward was being involved in trade talks the whole time he got here after he came back from injury. And I was part of that. I'm not going to lie. Kemba, rightfully so, because we had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But Kemba came here. He's a perfect fit considering because he'll let Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown sign. Right? And last year he was able to get a bucket when he needed to. This season he's struggling. But if you trade Kemba after just one season, right, after signing here, I don't think any big free agent is going to trust coming to the Celtics again. I don't think you can risk that.
They never should have signed Kemba in the first place, and I've said that from the start. When they signed Gordon Hayward, they go for big players that had big names on crappy teams. That's what the Celtics kind of go for. Am I wrong? No,
but when are players from good teams, right, really good teams, available in free agency that don't resign to their teams?
Yeah, but no, the Celtics just need a better coaching system to attract people in. Brad Stevens isn't that coach. We both just discussed that.
Yeah, but you're saying they sign guys, right? They sign guys, big free agents who are a lot of free agents leave because they're leaving off the crap teams. Not many big free agents leave off good teams. So that's my point.
It depends on situations. every free agency is different. I feel like Danny Ainge kind of screws it up every time and waits too long. Like this year, there were so many good centers, and they set up for Tristan Thompson. Like
Marcus, well, I told you everybody wants to go LA. I wanted Ibaka. They wanted Ibaka. They wanted Marcus All.
Yeah, but do you think they're actually offering them, or are they lowballing them?
No, I mean they can only go so high with the cap space they have. So now they got Tatum on a max deal. They got Jaylen Brown close to the max deal. They have Marcus Smart on a pretty good contract. And then they have $5 million, $10 million here. You know what I mean? Little contracts there. So they don't really have much cap space. Really, just the biannual and play exception. But James,
this is when you got to start thinking like, all right, teams that want to win, you see everyone take a pay cut. You have Celtics need to start looking at that. You got to see, all right, we want to win. Let's start taking pay cuts. Not Tatum or Brown. I'm saying Marcus Smart, if he wants to win, like take a little pay cut. Some player, Tristan Thompson shouldn't have signed that high in the first place. Tice, you got to look at him. He really is worth about $4 million a year, $5 million a year, nothing more than that. So you got to start thinking about pay cuts and getting other vets in there because right now they don't need another superstar. They needed a bench. They need a solid bench because their starting lineup is good. They need some backup.
They need a starting big, but Tice is making around $5 million a year. My thing is though, you're not going to get this from this team because of two reasons. One, they're young. Marcus Smart is still young. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum's all young. Two, they're not for sure contenders, especially with that, like I said, the question marks of what can they really – they haven't really passed that hump of Eastern Conference Finals. They look like the same team every single year as far as they have the same mistakes of playing down the competitions, coming out the second half, playing consistent 48 minutes. Like that's always been –
because they've never had a bench. They haven't had a bench the past 5 years. It's been the same team over and over again besides one player.
No, they had a lot of mix-up. It's just that they don't – I'm going to say this, that they don't really have much money or traction because, like I said, Boston versus LA, they don't really have much traction. They're not going to get those Marcus Gasol, Ibaka. So they get – I mean, Teague and Thompson wasn't a bad player before the Celtics. They actually had good seasons. So my question is why now? Like, how come we can't – especially draft picks. Danny Ainge had all these draft picks. How come we can't develop these guys? Grant Williams looked good last season. He's regressed since he's been playing. Smith was great in college. He came in. He's actually plays good defense with his good hustle. I get his shot is not falling, but he's not getting minutes. You got Pritchard's getting minutes. That's great. But besides him, I mean, what are you doing with all these picks?
Yeah, Brad Stevens isn't the coach for them. He doesn't give anyone a shot, really. You got to get him out of there. He needs to go. He needs to go rebuild somewhere else.
But would you do that midseason?
I mean, I personally would. They're not going to because he'll get them to a record of 5th seed, 4th seed, but they need to get rid of him. Like, sooner than later, you don't want to waste Tatum's years. Brown's playing phenomenal. You don't want to waste that. So you got to start thinking quick because you want Tatum to stay after this even after his max deal right now, you want him to stay. If Brad Stevens is still there when this contract ends and they haven't gone anywhere, he's gone. He's not going to go. He's not going to stay.
Honestly, I'm not thinking that far, but who do you think is going to replace him? Like James Posey? Like, who do you think is going to replace Brad Stevens if you're going to kick him out? Who are you going to replace him with?
It depends on who they're thinking because we don't know what coaches are available right now. I feel like anyone really.
Would you go college?
You could go college. And then you got Mark Jackson. The commentator, he deserves a coaching job. He deserves something. You got to think about that. You got Jason Kidd still, an assistant for the Lakers. He could be a head coach somewhere. You got college. There's plenty of head coaches down there. We saw Jay Wright from Villanova. People have been looking at him, but no one's really gave him a good contract. There's plenty of college coaches that I'm sure would love to go coach for the Celtics. You just got to start looking and actually looking into it. But I don't know about Danny Ainge, what he'll do.
I think especially since Stevens signed an extension, like I said, he made the Eastern Conference Finals multiple years already. I think what's going to happen is if they go look for another coach, they have to look someone that they know for sure is going to come in and produce. Like, I don't think they can get one from college. There's so many question marks if they can come into college and, translate to NBA. Maybe look at assistant coaches. But yes, on this, Celtics should have got, Millsap said no. Tristan Thompson. Miles Turner. I know Danny is getting a lot of flack for not taking the Miles Turner deal. But I would say this. Miles Turner looks great right now as a shot blocker, yes. I'm not sure if he would fit they like space on the floor, so I'm not sure if that's the reason maybe they want to stay away from him. But also because of that contract, it wasn't seen as desirable in the beginning of the season, so that's probably why he stayed away from him. If they don't make nothing out of this trade exception, I would say I think we have to wait to see what comes out of this trade exception. If they don't make nothing out of it and end up expiring, I'll go for any EJ. Go attack. Go get him. But let's see and wait what they make of the trade exception.
So if he doesn't use this, do you think there's a chance to get rid of him? Someone new kind of steps up there?
What, Brad Stevens? Or
no, Danny Ainge.
Oh, no, he's not going anywhere. Because, I mean, he's still It's not like we're the Wizards. We're the Boston Celtics. Like, we have he drafted two young stars, right? Smart is a great player. It's not like he's able to make the trades. He's always in talks, right? I don't think the team is that bad where they'll take him out. I think the biggest problem is coaching. You're not developing these players he picks. Because it's a lot harder to make a trade. People are like, oh, it's not as easy as going to the ESPN trade machine and putting players in and just hitting deal. There's a lot that goes into these trades. Going back to college.
He probably will go back to college. I don't think, or maybe a rebuilding NBA team. But Celtics need to get rid of him.
You think he'll go to Indiana? Because he was tied there for a while. Because I know he played, and he's from. I believe he's from there. Played in Butler.
Might. That'd be a good fit over there, Indiana, because they are kind of in that rebuild kind of sense without losing Oladipo and such. But I could honestly see the Magic being a destination as well. Vucevic looks amazing over there. They just need a couple more pieces. Cole Anthony looks great. I think Brad Stevens could be a good coach over there, that kind of like rebuild them, get them where they need to be. But
we say like he's good to get like those guys that are under the radar type players, right? Under the radar, younger players, but he's not really good at dealing with all-star talent. I don't know if he knows how to like control it, or I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it seems like when he's given the talent, he can't produce. But when he's not given the talent, he can produce. It makes no sense to me. So today we actually had a reschedule with our guest a little bit last minute, but it's all right. We will keep you guys updated on what's going on. And until then, you guys have a good week. Enjoy the weekend. And start voting right on the All-Star voting, okay?
Get my man Caruso in there.
Get Clay out of there. Get Caruso out of there. Start voting for Fox. Start voting for guys who actually deserve it. I'm sick of this. You guys don't get right. I'm signing a petition. That's it. All right, well, you guys have a good week, and we'll see you guys next week. Let's do a little outro. If I can get it with my voice. Okay.